Hello, everybody. This is Gertrude here in Wellington, New Zealand. Thank you so much for joining me in this speakers group on Facebook, or if you're watching this video on YouTube, welcome. I call myself the book midwife because I show up for people and I show up for speakers who are ready to tell their stories, who are ready to stand on the world stages and be seen. So if you are a poet, a writer, an author who's already published and you want to learn more things about how to write your book, if you want to go into the public speaking arena, either as a trainer, as a coach, as an inspirational speaker or a motivational speaker, I'm your woman for that. So I'm going to be sharing tips and ideas today on 5 unexpected ways to get clients, to get your first customers in your first year of business as a speaker. Now, a lot of times people don't pay attention to the resources they already have around them, to the people that they already know. And you will be surprised that if you were to reach out to family, to friends, to former work contacts, or anyone in your personal network and tell them that you're creating this career as a speaker, you will be blown away at the number of opportunities that they will actually offer you. So your personal network is a goldmine. First thing I suggest you do is to hop onto social media. Use Facebook to tell people what you're doing this year in carving a career as a speaker. Tell people what your area of speaking is going to be. If you're a business coach, if you're a life coach, if you're somebody who's written a memoir where you think that you could run workshops to help and empower somebody else, tell people what your area of expertise is. And it could just be your personal life story that can be used to uplift and inspire other people. A lot of my content is based around women and women's issues. I'm an advocate for children's rights, and I was blown away at the number of opportunities I got once I stepped out there and put myself on the line and started creating this niche that has made me an international speaker. And in the last 17 years, I've been to 56 countries, being paid to be flown to different parts of the world to present. And these are some of the tips and ideas that I want to share with you through this program. If you have a mailing list, craft a personal email to your contacts and let them know what you're about in 2018. Ask them to give you referrals. Or set up coffee dates with friends and acquaintances and talk to the people around you and tell them that this is your mission for 2018 and you would like them to give you referrals. So one of the things you have to do is to first let people know where your strengths lie and what services you're going to offer. So remember, as a speaker, you not only have to stand on stage and give a keynote presentation. You could facilitate in running a workshop for an organization, depending on where your area of strength lies. You could host your own workshop and advertise it using social media to attract people to come. Or you can go into training in the corporate world and run training programs for different organizations as well. The key, though, is that you must know exactly what it is you do and how you can be of service to people, and find a way of articulating that in a very short space of time. Because a lot of times when you're meeting with people, they don't have a lot of time to take in too much information. So try and synthesize it into a 10 to 15 minute presentation where you articulate who you are as a speaker and the kind of areas you speak around. The other thing you can do, which is number 2, is to ask your current clients for referrals. So regardless of what you're actually doing in life right now, the people that you're actually associating with in whatever field can become potential referral points for you. So before you branch out and try and do this professionally, ask your current clients for referrals. And what happens is the warmer the referral is, just because that person knows you, they will give you a warm introduction. So say to them, look, can you do an introduction for me with anybody you know who might be looking for speakers this year? And then as soon as they make that introduction, follow up and contact that person immediately. The next thing you can try and do is to provide plenty of value to your potential future clients. Now, you can do this in a number of ways. I've always mentioned that Facebook and social media has literally flattened the world for us. You can reach thousands of people all over the world through Facebook groups and through social media. So what I've done in Facebook is I join groups that have an interest in what I have an interest in. So for example, if I wanted to go out and give a presentation about advocating for children's rights or advocating for women's rights, I join groups that have anything to do with children and anything to do with women. It's amazing how many groups you'll find on Facebook. And the way you need to interact within these Facebook groups is to create personal connections by paying attention to what other people in the group are saying. For example, sometimes if somebody posts a question in the group, you can jump in and answer the question and share your knowledge and actually help somebody with the knowledge that you already have. It not only shows the value that you give, but it's all about not just taking from people within the group, but giving first. And the rule is give 3 times and then get. That is the best approach to anything you're going to do in business and anything you're going to do in life. Make it a habit that you cement it in your way of being as a contributor, somebody who gives valuable information. And you can build a very good reputation just from that. The other thing you can do within these groups is to do a keyword search within the group. So for example, if you are a speaker around health issues, just put in the keyword search health professionals, and it will pull out everybody in the group who is in that area. And then reach out to them and say, you know what, by the way, I'm a speaker. My focus is around mental health. And I'm just wondering if you could give me some referrals, if you know any organizations where I can pitch myself as a speaker. So be really creative about that as well. It's really, really easy when you're within a group to connect with the members in that group. And eventually what happens is, especially if you start answering questions and having dialogues with people within the group, it shows that you're an authority in your field, and then you become the go-to person for providing that particular service to speak in that particular area. The next thing you need to do is to cultivate relationships with other service providers in your field. Now, a lot of people think that this is very counterproductive because you are talking to people who are your potential competitors, for example. But it all depends on how you go about approaching these people. Sometimes I found that I could talk to another speaker and say, you know what, I'm so desperate to get some speaking engagements. Can you, give me some referrals? I have been blown away at the number of speaking opportunities that I've had from other women who are speakers who speak in my area. For example, they will say, you know what, Gertrude, I heard about this opportunity. It's clashing with dates that I'm already booked. Why don't you contact this organization, or why don't you contact this person? So don't ever discredit the fact that your competitors can be your best referrals. But what you have to remember to do is when you see an opportunity, do the same for them, so that you create these win-win opportunities, these win-win situations with people, and you build your relationships with your competitor based on that. Now, I know that a lot of people don't like to speak for free. But I've got to tell you, I got to be an international speaker because I offered my services to speak for free. It was at a time when I had written my first book, and my mission at that time was to sell 100 copies of this book a month at $35 a book. And I would make $3,500 like this. I spoke for free in social networking groups like Rotary groups, Lions. In New Zealand, we have something called Probus. Anyone who was looking for a guest speaker and couldn't pay me, I would put up my hand, because I knew that, for example, within Rotary, if you can go onto rotaryinternational.org and put in the zip code or the address where you live, you will find 10 to 15 Rotary clubs that meet every single week. They look for speakers first thing in the morning, sometimes at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, the breakfast meetings. They meet at lunchtime, and they meet in the evenings. So you get a choice to speak at different times of the day. And what happened is I would go with a stack of business cards. They knew that I was speaking for free, and they were very grateful for that. But before I went to give my presentation, I would tell who's ever organizing the speakers that I'm going to bring copies of my books to sell. And I would hit my mark. Every single month, I made $3,500 by speaking for free. But the magical thing that happened from these free speaking opportunities is that people started passing my name around. I would have a stack of business cards on the table as I was speaking. And at the end of my speech, I would say to them, I'm a paid inspirational speaker. If you know of any other organizations or any other clubs that might need a guest speaker, please pass on my card. And people would come up to the table and take 5, 6 to 10 cards and pass those out wherever they went or whenever they met somebody who was looking for a speaker. So I'm hoping that this is going to help you not only start your speaking career, but learn how to connect and learn how to engage. And some of the best places in the world to speak are libraries. In every single library around the world, you will find speaking opportunities. They normally love bringing in authors. So if you've written a book, or if you're writing a book and you want to start pre-selling the book, approach your local library or any libraries in your area. And what happens is they will advertise that you're coming to speak. They will give you space to run a workshop within the library after your presentation. They will support you, they will market, they will advertise. And most libraries are connected to the town councils, so the publication has a wider reach than you trying to do it yourself. And again, you don't get paid, but they do allow you to sell your book while you're in that library. Approach your local bookstores if you're an author. Approach them even if you haven't written a book and have an idea for a book. And then start building your database from there. So I hope that this has given you a few ideas on how you can start your business in the most unexpected ways and get your first clients to start your speaking business in 2018. So this is Gertrude Mache here in Wellington, New Zealand. If you would like to contact me, my email is gertrudemache@gmail.com. Send me an email. I'll put you on my subscription list so you can get more of these kind of videos that can help you build your business as a speaker in 2018. So thank you so much for tuning in. Contact me anytime. Bye for now.